Could you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, I'm Marcus Payne, 33, from the semi-tropical island of Payne, just across the water from Portsmouth. Yeah, reggae, acoustic, sort of fusion, mix of different styles of reggae, acoustic artist. Yeah, been busking since 2012, on and off, through the years with just me and the guitar, and in the last few years got a nice QBX3 amp to be a bit more professional, and yeah, it's good.
Lovely. So we'll start out. What inspired you to start busking, and what does it mean to you as a career?
I started just for the sheer fact of wanting to go out and push through sort of walls of being worried about what people may think of you playing, you know. You can yeah, get yourself out. Any worry of self-judgment from other people, to just put yourself in the street and just practice. It's like a rehearsal for when the gigs do come. To be honest, the first time I went busking was purely because I needed to get Christmas presents and I had no money. So I went to Commercial Road near the fountain and went along, and there's nothing going on in the street. First time you ever go busking, you just hear nothing and you've got to start playing music. So I had to put myself down on a bench and sort of psych myself up to go. And autopilot, the first bit where I'm getting my guitar out and setting up, you're aware everyone's noticing you, you know, setting up and you're going to do something, and then get into a song. Once you're into one or two songs, you don't want to stop. So it's the opposite of what you're feeling literally 2 minutes before. So yeah, carried on playing for hours. It's like a few days before Christmas, so it was cold. And I looked down and I see black on my hand and on the guitar, and I was like, what's that? And like where it's so cold, I'd worn the finger away and like got like blood in there, spraying in the guitar, and I was just like, rock and roll. But I got my Christmas presents, I got my money, and then after that, I sort of carried on busking for years, yeah.
Lovely. And could you tell us a particularly memorable performance you had while busking?
It was probably the most recent thing that happened. So, yeah, I've been busking full time now since January. Just every day I can go, I will go. And from being homeless in January to now, actually busking is keeping me going, and it's working out a lot better than I thought. And yeah, the biggest experience that happened recently was a few Saturdays ago outside the Portsmouth Guildhall. There was, me and my friend were there, we saw people going into the Guildhall, and I thought it was a comedy night on. We wanted to check what was happening, so I went and asked what was going on in there, and they said it was the Skints and Gentlemen's Dub Club were playing. And it was £32 on the door. So I went and told my friend who was playing, the Skints and Gentlemen's Dub Club, and it's 32 quid to get in. And whilst I'm telling him that, someone's shouting me over from the smoking area, say, dude, come over here. And it ends up being a friend who knows a good friend of mine, skateboarder, Jack Tong. And he goes, here dude, here's a ticket. So he just gave me a free ticket. And my mate behind me has got a lady who said her husband couldn't make it, here's a ticket, and we've got free tickets to this gig. So I had all my busking stuff with me, because I'd just been out that day. And we went in, watched the best gig ever, the Skints and Gentlemen's Dub Club. It was amazing, saw a load of old friends I haven't seen in ages, and yeah, they rocked it. And then gone to leave, and I've got all my busking gear with me. So I'm outside and I thought, perfect opportunity to get Sublime, Garden Grove, one of their songs, out, and played that. And then someone shouted, play Santeria. So there's about 50, 60 or more people in front of me just singing Sublime at me, super loud. And yeah, played another few songs of theirs, What I've Got. And yeah, it was probably one of the best feelings of having that many people that close singing really loud at you. That was something else, yeah. Yeah, it felt great. Topped the night off.
Lovely. Yeah. So, leading on to that, so how does busking as a whole make you feel physically and emotionally? So does it take a toll on your life, and how mentally have you been while doing it?
I mean, yeah, you've got to battle, everyone's got in them they say as a part X, it's like of uncertainty or doubt, and you've got to go out and do something that day. So you've got to constantly battle that in your mind to just not buy into that and know that that's not actually a part of who you really are, and that's just going to come in to throw you off what you should be doing. So it's constantly a battle well, not a battle as such, but you know, you've got to get yourself up and going and, you know, feel good, because on the days you don't and you go out, you can hear it come across in the way you play. Sometimes you can hear that you haven't got your whole heart in it. So yeah, you get them days, you know, it's like the tides come in and out. They'll go up and down, and you'll have days where it's not so good as the one before. But then it's, 9 times out of 10, once you push through that and you're out and you're playing, then you see some people smiling or some kids having a dance, and then you realise, oh, this is what I'm doing it for now. It's good, yeah.
Oh, that's
and
good.
It's worth it.
So what message do you hope to convey through your music, and why is it important to you?
Yeah, I've been writing songs for a long time, singing and writing my own songs since I was probably 7. I was getting mates together and writing songs. And then, the last 10, 12 years, I've been writing, more. I see music as a way of getting a message out to a large amount of people. And can you do that question again?
No, it's right. It's just about, is there a specific message you want to convey through music? Like, is your music that you write about something specific? Like your life, your journey? Explain that a bit.
Yeah, right. Music's the most powerful thing in the world. And I see that as my way to use it to get a message out to a large amount of people. And that is literally to give peace, love and harmony to all humanity and to all animals.
Lovely.
And that's nice. It's simple, really. But I sort of go through the motions. Some of my songs are a bit slower and a bit down tempo, and some of them sort of a bit more upbeat and bring you up and stuff. So sort of go through the motions of it all, and just sort of seeing, there's this, there's that in life, but it's okay. There's good and bad in everything, everywhere, and it's all right,
Mm-hmm.
The main point I see it as is making people happy. If you can do that in your little bit, if someone's having a rubbish day and they walk past you busking and they cheer up and smile, that's what it's about. Everything else is a bonus sort of thing. Yeah.
Good. So this is what challenges have you faced and how have you overcome them? So this is about your time in January, being homeless, and like how that took a toll on you, and possibly things you faced in the street while busking, if you've come across any problems.
I was sort of homeless, but in a hotel, but not technically right on the street, but I had nowhere sort of solid to stay, and sort of took that opportunity to just push myself to go out busking every day, regardless, just to make sure I'm going to be feeling good if I'm busking. And as long as I'm feeling good in that day and then can make someone else feel good, that's only going to repel back, keep giving without expecting, and then it will come back. And it did work, the jump into doing it, because you're not guaranteed anything all day, on the days you go. But then when I started to go and realise, what was coming back, it was started to work. And never really had any problems with anyone. You get little kids that want to, sometimes try to take some money, and that's happened once, and that's a bummer. But that's just another little test, and kids will be kids, But other than that, it's mainly nice vibes. I play reggae, so it's quite happy, feel good music. So it's majority of the time it's been quite good. But going from what I felt like was rock bottom to what's happened in the last few months, it's turned around quick, which is quite nice. Yeah, taking a leap is good.
Good.
Yeah.
So what role has busking played in your life, and how has it shaped you as a person?
It's made me believe in myself more, for pushing through the mental walls of, are you good enough? People hearing the same songs all the time, you know, is that boring them? And you know, going out and constantly going and people giving you nice feedback, that's then you start realising, okay, this is doing something good for me and other people. So that shaped me in a way to feel like I'm sort of giving to the world in a way, or the community, or the street, whatever you want to call it. You know, putting out some nice energy. That's the main point of it, I think. You know, especially right now, the way the world's going. I want to try to keep everyone's vibrations high, and mine. By keeping mine high, hopefully that people can see that in them too. You know, and that just ripples out. Yeah, and that's what's keeping me going doing it. You know.
Good. Can you describe a moment where you felt a deep connection to the audience while busking? So that was probably when, you know.
Yeah. That the deepest connection I had busking was that night after the outside the Portsmouth Guildhall. Yeah. Having that many people sort of all singing really loud at you and having a dance and, you know, keeping everyone in their happy place. You know, they're like that. Yeah, that was the, what was it again? Sorry.
Oh no, it's all right. Was that, did that kind of like encourage you to want to pursue busking more and a career in this because you felt, I want one day them to sing my songs at me? Is that what kind of persuaded you?
I mean, that would be cool, if people singing your songs back at you, totally. I mean, people are like, come up on the street like, you know, you should go on Britain's Got Talent and stuff, or you should go on this. I mean, I got invited on The Voice twice before and went, and they didn't see how reggae was going to fit in the show. So I see it. I see that, you know, there's this side of things, and that's okay, you know. But it didn't stop me carry on doing what I was going to do, which I'm still doing. So I say people when they come up to me like, you know, you should be here, you should be there. I've said, I've already made it. I'm making someone smile today. I've made it. Do you know what I mean? It's not about trying to get to some place which is all up in the air, if you know what I mean. Unless that's what you want to do. But I feel like I've already made it by I'm playing my own songs in the street, and people are happy. That's my job done, you know, for that day.
No, that's good. Always a good one. What is your favourite song to perform while busking, and why does it hold a special place in your heart?
I'd say there's two, and the first one would be my song Buskers Bellow, which is off one of the songs off my 3-track EP I recorded a couple of years ago, and I recorded it like first take to try to capture that rawness of it, and it's just me and the guitar, so it's without any other instruments or whistles and bells to capture that rawness of just a busker busking. And so I love playing that song because it says there's some nice words in there and some nice messages, and it feels good to get that out, you know, of my own song. And then my favourite cover song to play would be probably Steady Rhythm by Paul Isaac and Sam Garrett. It's not come out that long ago, and Paul Isaac's a really cool, lovely artist who sings beautiful words, and he inspires me a lot to keep doing what I'm doing. And Sam Garrett, he's from London, he's a really good dude as well. So they collaborated in Hawaii and they did a song Steady Rhythm, and the words in that really potent, and it's just a super feel-good song, you know. Mm-hmm. And once, you know, I feel like I'm feeling that. If you're feeling good, you know, other people should hopefully be too, so yeah.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, it's good.
How has busking allowed you to express yourself creatively, and what does that freedom mean to you?
Yeah, to be able to do you and whatever that is, whoever that is, you know, like if you can just do you and feel comfortable in that, and you're feeling comfortable in whatever it is that you are doing, if you're comfortable in your skin, other people see that, and then they're going to feel comfortable in their skin, you know. So you can just to be able to let loose and just be yourself, and whatever that way is in expressing yourself, that way that is to express yourself, then it allows other people to see that they can relax and let go of anything that maybe stop them being able to be themselves, you know. So being able to go out and just, you know, let loose and have fun. You see other people, you can just let loose and have fun too, you know. That's the bigger picture of it, really.
What role does the community play in your busking experiences, and how has it impacted you?
You say that again?
Yeah, of course. So what role does the community play in your busking experiences? So it just means like, how has the audience helped you, encouraged you when you're busking on the street? Is there times they've come and they've like watched you and really appreciated? It's just the little moments.
Yeah, right. So there's this lady, that little old lady, she's lovely, called Anne, and she was sat on a bench and I was playing What a Wonderful World, Louis Armstrong, so that's a nice song to do, and I see her sat over there, and she started wording the mouths over, you know, like, what a wonderful world. She started singing the songs over to me and I could see her wording it over, and it was lovely. And she came over, and then I started to play Don't Worry, Be Happy. You know, here's a little song I wrote, you might want to sing it note for note, but don't worry, you know. And she's starting to have a little bob, and she's having a dance, and she's just like seeing her enjoying herself, and then other people are watching her, noticing her having a little moment, of having a little bob, and everyone's like, oh, this is nice, you know. And that's what it's about, you know, like them little moments. That's more than the money, you know. And then she'll go off, and she comes back, and she'll give us a little packet of mini rolls, you know, love her heart. Let's have her with a cup of tea later. And she reminds me of my mum's mum, actually, so it's quite nice. And then you get like the little kids that were like, you come in and dancing, the parents want to go, and then they're like, can't because the kids want to dance, but they're watching then their kid have a moment of niceness, you know. And then they're loving that moment, and it's nice. It's like them things are more than the money, you know. Yeah, there's been a couple of nice ones, and I see Anne, she keeps popping along and dropping off some mini rolls for me, bless her.
Lovely. Nice. Can you describe a moment when busking helped you through a personal struggle?
It has. All the times probably when I've been at a point of, like, you know, what am I doing with my life? Where am I going with this? That's always been, you know, pushing out to go busking. It's always helped us push through them, not having to lay in bed all day and stew on stuff that's not going to help the situation whatsoever. Because you're just going to be sat in your own head, not talking to anyone, questioning yourself, oh, is it that, is it this, is it that? And only answering back to yourself, so you're probably not going to have the most constructive stuff to say back or pick yourself up unless you sort of push yourself out and see some friends or speak to some people and say, go busking, and then you sort of realise, actually, what am I worrying about? You know, whatever it is that's going on in your life at certain points. And then you get the nice feedback from the people, and then you're like, oh, okay, I am doing this for not, you know, there is a reason I'm doing this, and I'm not doing well. Makes sense. It's helped a lot, especially recently. It has saved us, really, busking, from not doing the right thing or going the right way of life, and it's pushed us back into a good stead of, no, you've got this, you know, you can do this, and you can cheer people up, so why not, you know.
Was there a time where you didn't believe in yourself and didn't believe you could kind of get to what you're doing now? And busking, your perseverance and your love for busking, how that helped?
Yeah, I mean, you get that all the time. You have it, you know, throughout the years on and off. There's always that doubt that comes in. You can get it, you know, nearly every other day that could come in, and then you sort of push yourself through these walls. You know, the mental walls of the doubt and uncertainty. You know, you just see that as a test, I think, to see if, you know, are you going to step up and go out and do it. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of times through life you know, not been doing so well, or work's not been going so great. But after the last 3 months of doing it full time, it's made me see that, yeah, no, it's you can do it, you know, you can make a living out of this and a career, and you can get gigs from it, and, you know, someone comes up and talks to you and says, oh, can you come play in my restaurant, you know, and you think if you hadn't gone busking that day, you wouldn't have maybe seen that person, so then could lead on to that gig. Or, you know, it's like, can you come and play a party for me? Birthday, some point someone comes along, you know, and then it spears off from just busking to actually playing in parties or gigs and bars, and it's things lead on. So then you don't slip into the doubt of so much because you're already then going somewhere with it, you know. It doesn't happen so often.
Good. What's the biggest lesson you've learned from your experiences as a busker and musician? How has it impacted you? So just a life lesson or a piece of advice that you might give to other people?
Keep on keeping on. Keep on keeping on. Every day. Every day's another new day. You got to make it a little bit better than the one before. And all there is now. Everything else, yeah. So you got to, you know, remember that. It's now and forward. You know, the past is past. You know, I've wrote some of this stuff in the song, you know. It's called Feeling Good. And it's another new day. Every new day, you know. Keep on doing what it is you love and makes you feel good. And you will get that back, you know. And don't expect it. Just keep giving because you want to. And then things will manifest in a more bigger than you've even thought of way, which is quite nice, you know. Yeah, keeping on doing whatever it is that you love. That's what I'd say to everyone.
That's nice. Okay, how has your perception of busking changed from when you first started? So from when you were doing it part-time to now doing it obviously full-time?
What's that say again?
So how has your perception of busking changed? So from doing it part-time to now doing it all the time, full-time. How has your experience of busking changed?
It's maybe made me see that instead of it being like a side thing, of like, okay, right, I'm going to do my 9-to-5 job and busk on the weekends when I can, and it's a sort of like a side thing. And what I've noticed from it being a side thing to doing it all the time is that, like, my music career, I want to see it as my musical journey, say, is now not just a side thing. You know, it's like the thing, you know, rather than it being like, oh, you know, and then it will always be, if it is a side thing for the rest of your life, it'll probably just be a side thing, you know. And now I'm doing it full time all the time, and then all my energy and effort is going into it. Now it's the thing, you know. So it's like the forefront of what I want to do with life, you know, like sing songs every day would be nice, and it's happening, yeah.
Is that why, would you say you'd want people to take buskers more seriously, as obviously you're doing this as a job and it means so much to you as a passion? Would you want people on the street to possibly acknowledge more? Is that something you would want?
Yeah, totally. I mean, whatever it is anyone's doing, it should, you know, be taken seriously on whatever it is they're doing, you know. Give a busker a little bit of, you know, just time. Like I say, you know, I collect smiles and money's a bonus. Most of the time, even if you just acknowledge someone busking, that gives them a bit of energy to keep doing it, you know. However, whatever level of music they are, musically, whatever level they're at, they're out trying, you know. They're out giving it some. So you got to respect the person for just putting themselves out there in the first place, you know. It's nice. This lady, Laura, it's actually a guy who dressed as a lady, as she told me, who came along on Saturday just gone and was having a chat, was saying that, yeah, I used to play music years ago and I want to try push myself again. And I was like, yeah, just go do it, you know, like sort of giving some nice words, and then ended up wanting to sing along to Redemption Song, Bob Marley. So I started playing and she started singing along with me on the street, you know, and we both sung the song together. And it pushed her through a wall that she needed to break through to go, oh, I can stand down the street and sing, you know, and it can happen. So managed to do that for her, and she was like going to go off and get her guitar and set up and start doing it every day, you know. So just to give that bit of boost of, you know, confidence in someone to go, you can go out and do what you want to do, you know, regardless of what it is you're doing, go do it, you know. Yeah.
That's good. Can you describe a low moment while busking that nearly made you quit?
I don't think there's ever been a moment that's made me want to quit. There's never been a moment that's made me want to quit.
Maybe discouraged you a bit.
Yeah, maybe when I moved to Brighton, because when I went to Brighton, it's like the hub of busking in the country, if not the world, I'd say. So I went there, you know, full of confidence, just been living in London, I've been doing a bit of busking there, and I came down and I still was busking without an amp at that point, it's just me and the guitar, just sort of raw dogging it, and I see that there's so many good buskers in Brighton. So that stepped me back a bit, like, whoa, you realise what level you're at when you go to a place like that, and you're like, oh, I'll maybe not be as good as I thought I was. But then, you know, I got an amp and made a sound a bit more professional, you know, look a bit more professional, and then, started to push myself out through them walls. But yeah, I did doubt myself a bit, and not made me want to stop, but made me not go so much, maybe living in Brighton. Yeah. But now I'm doing it full time in Portsmouth, and I've sort of built my confidence back up a bit. I think I'm going to try get back to Brighton on some weekends and go give it a go again.
Yeah. So even that discouragement actually encouraged you to.
Yeah, exactly.
Lovely. So is the competition quite hard? Obviously, you being in that community, from an inside point of view, what's it like seeing other buskers on the street and the competition around everywhere you've been?
Well, I feel like over the years, what I see life and music as is no one's any better or more than anyone, anywhere. It's just different types of styles, or, you know, that's what throws us off, is we end up comparing or judging ourselves, comparing ourselves to other people, thinking we're not as good as them, so do we stop? When they're just doing their thing, and you could just be doing your thing, you know? And then you don't end up comparing yourself or competing with other people, because you're just doing you, you know, and they're just doing them. And that comes with just going out and practice and just experiencing, and you get to the point of, okay, you know, everyone's out trying to do their thing. No one's any more than anyone, you know. Only some sound clash. You might get some sound clash in the street, someone playing close. That's the only thing you'll probably get. But 9 times out of 10, people, you know, have respect to just go off, set up a bit further and stuff. But yeah, no, usually everyone in the busking world is all on the same level and just out, you know, knowing they're all out to, you know, do their thing. There's no competition in it, which is nice.
Cool. How does busking bring meaning and purpose to your life?
It brings me the meaning and purpose.
Is it just joy? Just something you're passionate about?
Yeah. I mean, it's my meaning and purpose for busking is literally so I can keep my, like I've said, my vibration is going to be high. So when I'm keeping myself there, then all of a sudden then other people should end up getting that too, you know. So as long as I'm keeping myself at a high vibration every day, then other people are going to get that too, you know. And that's what gives me meaning and purpose, to know that sometimes it can be a bit dull. Days can be a bit, you know, dreary, with the things that's happening around the world, as we know, you know. And it's nice to know that if I can go out in the few hours I do that day to cheer some people up, to make them not have to see or worry about that stuff, and they can, you know, feel good, that gives me meaning and purpose in like everything I do at busking, to be honest.
Good, yeah. Cool. What kind of stress do you go through being an independent musician busker?
Sometimes I run out of battery, and halfway through a song, that's quite annoying. Don't really have many things. The rain, that could be a bit of a bummer. There's not many really serious things that can sort of make you get a bit stressed and stuff. Or there's not really many things, you know. Literally the weather, not being able to busk for a week, can be a bit harsh when it's your full time. You know, you need to go out and do it, and the weather's not allowing you really. That can be a bit stressful. But 9 times out of 10, it's like, it's nice. It feels good to be doing what I want to be doing every day, rather than feeling like I've got to like do something I don't feel like I want to do to get by. You know, you can do what you love, and it does work. You know, and you put it out and you put yourself out there. Yeah. Yeah, and then all that stress goes away.
Cool.
Yeah.
Could you tell me a bit about obviously how much you make on day to day? Obviously it varies from day to day, so could you tell me a bit about that?
Yeah, like I usually go for about 3 hours a day, like 1 till 4ish. Like you get like on a Monday I've got like, you know, you get like maybe 47 quid, and then on a Tuesday it could be 50 something, and then on a, you know, you might have a random day it'd be £30, 3 hours, but it's still like minimum wage. And then I'll get really nice days where I've earned like £93 in 3 hours. I've got £95 on Saturday in 3 hours. It's quite nice. My best day, I got £107 in 3 hours, which was like not long ago. And then that gives you the boost of like, okay, this is actually like better than me labouring like I had been before, 9 till 4 or 8 till 4, whatever, you know. It all balances out, you know. But yes, it can be good. It can be good if you get a nice day and you're playing the right song at the right time for the right person. That's how it flows.
Yeah.
It can be good. You know?
And what about on the not so good days when you're earning less than you expected, or does it knock you down a bit? 20 something pound for 3 hours, 20, 30 pounds. It's always been, never really much less. But like, you know, that's all still, because I've always I've been before busking with the intention of getting money, just money. And you can hear it when you're playing, in a way, that you're like sort of striving for that, rather than just playing because you're enjoying what you're doing. So after so many years of going and trying different ways of doing it, now I go with the intention to collect smiles and just cheer someone up in that 2 minutes of their day, you know, cheer people up, and the money's a bonus, so you don't think about the money. And then it will come more than you even expected it, if you know what I mean, because intention isn't about that. Just cheer people up and yourself, and then it can come flooding back. Yeah. Cool. Just a couple more. So how has the cost of living crisis affected you, and like just the social struggles of the world right now? How has that influenced you, obviously making your own income and stuff like that? Yeah.
This is why it hasn't, because I'm just living week by week, day by day, which is all we can do, really, everyone in the world. And if I'm, can get a bit of food and pay my rent, then I'm good. And I've been and it's been working. So doing 2-3 days a week to get some rent, 2-3 days after to get some food, it's working, and it hasn't really affected us, to be honest. So, and then if I get some gigs, which are like a bit more better money, like £100 an hour for gigs, once the summer starts coming and they start coming, and it's going to be, I'm going to hopefully be able to save to go do some nice things rather than just get by, So yeah, it's all coming along nicely.
Can you describe a moment where someone upset you while busking and knocked you back a bit? Like a friend that you thought was a friend that discouraged you a bit, or anything like that?
I've never really had that. I've not had it. Like I say, the only thing was this little dude who came and took some money out my case, and it bummed me out. And I had to not let it affect me to ruin the busking, to ruin my vibe. I had to sort of let him get away with it. It's only money. It's only a few pounds. It was the principle. But, you know, it's just another test. And, you know, that was the only thing that discouraged me. He never wanted me to stop. But, you know, it's just nice to be nice, isn't it, you know? Yeah, I've never had any discouragement from anyone, which is nice. It's always been nice words.
So last one, could you tell us a bit about what you've got coming up, stuff you're looking forward to, stuff that's like setting you up and you're excited for in your career?
Yeah, okay. So yeah, like, so I released a 3-track EP called Take a Second like 2 years ago with a friend, Omnimoda Music, and I managed to get 2 of the songs put on a 45 vinyl. It's like hand cut, hand printed limited edition vinyls. I've got 10 of them made, and they've all pretty much gone. Which is one left, which is quite cool. And 2 songs, Take a Second and Run Away, actually got played on the Flash FM the last 2 Sundays on the New Music Hour show. So that happened, which was nice. Actually got my first local radio play. And I've managed to get a gig at a festival called Equinox. It's in Dorset. These Rise Above guys, they're really good, awesome, conscious, earthy people. So I got my first festival booking on the 6th to the 10th of April, which is quite cool. And from that, promoting that festival, another friend asked me to be a part of his festival called Wild in Us Festival on the 7th to the 9th of July in Shepton Mallet, which was nice. So I've got 2 festivals booked to this year. Got a couple of local gigs in Croxton's and Palmerston Road on the 30th of April, 6 till 8, doing a 2-hour set, which is nice, and the King's Pub in Albert Road on the 7th of May, which is going to be like I think that's actually the event she's doing it's all about helping the outside. So it's all going to be like people that are buskers to come together and just like, you know, collect as you do, as you would on the street, but in the bar. So that should be a really cool day. So yeah, so I've added all these dates onto my Humble Bumblebee Tour 2023, which is quite fun to be saying I'm doing my own tour this year after from going from being homeless 3 months ago. We're on the radio and we got some gigs and festivals, you know, so it's turned around quick, which is nice. And I managed to get, which came in just a couple of days ago, one of my biggest gigs, probably it's going to be ever, in the Staggeringly Good Brewery, supporting Don Letts, which is a Rebel Dread DJ set he's doing. He's actually a legendary artist, so I feel humbled to be supporting him on the 27th of May, which is cool. So yes, things are happening.
I'm glad, that's good.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, that was
all
really
right.
good.